Hey everyone, so I'm Pat and I have here with me Chris, and today we're so excited. We are behind the scenes and we're filming Chris's Kickstarter for an amazing product that he is launching very, very soon. Could you tell us all about it please, Chris?
Yeah, sure. It's called Ascendant Destiny. It's a book and it's a role-playing book. It's a rule book for a system. There's a lot of books there. It's a rule book for a Dungeons and Dragons style role-playing game.
Yeah, awesome. And what's really, really cool is myself and my friends, and particularly my girlfriend, we're getting into Dungeons and Dragons right now. So I was really excited to work with Chris because he's developed a system that makes it really easy just to jump in and to remember all your different... Well, can you tell us about the system and maybe about the character sheets?
Yeah, sure. Well, when I started role-playing 17 years ago, I found that a lot of the systems were not realistic enough for me, and they didn't really have enough meaningful character progression. So what I wanted to focus on was an exciting progression for your characters. And that's basically what it comes down to, a very flexible, balanced system that has a lot of character development that really gets you attached to your characters as they grow and develop.
Awesome. And what's sort of gotten me more into Dungeons & Dragons over the recent times is, there's certainly, it seems like there's been a lot more talk about it in modern TV shows, like off the top of my head, like Community, they had a few episodes.
They did, yeah.
Quite a few episodes revolving around the game of Dungeons & Dragons. And I always thought that it was something that you could only play like for years, and it took up this substantial amount of time. Yeah. So that's why I was always like on the fence about joining. But what's so exciting is that, because you can already buy like pre-made sort of stories.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe for people to sort of dive in, that would be one way. But
that would be.
For me, the most fun would be sitting down and writing all these stories for your friends.
That's the bit that I found the most exciting.
Yeah, and that's amazing.
It's something that I've done for the last 17 years.
Yeah.
Writing all these role-playing stories and running them as a game master or a storyteller. It doesn't take up all your time.
Yeah, it doesn't have to take up all your time.
No.
But if you want it to last.
The last campaign that I ran actually went for 2 years, and it was about 60 sessions. It's quite long. But we ran them. We tried running them once a week. A lot of the time it was once a fortnight, and then you even take holidays and breaks where you take a month off, and you come back to it. So it's just once a week.
But if you wanted to, could you write a smaller campaign that was only...
Yeah, easy. Yeah. I love really long campaigns. That's why I write them.
Yeah, but exactly.
The system is flexible. It's designed... You can even go online and grab a story off online and just adapt it on the fly.
So within all role-playing games, there are different character sheets, a way to remember everything about your character's traits and to easily show the progression through those different play sessions that we talked about before. Can you please tell us about your character sheet?
Yeah, sure, Pat. That's fine. Well, this is the character sheet. It has been this way for years now, and it's got everything you need. It's not super pretty. That's why I'm hiring someone to make it look more pretty. But it's functional and has been this way for a long time. We've got the different sections. You've got your attributes, which is your character's main physical and mental abilities. We've got the skills, which is the core of the system, where what your character can do, and they're either trained skills, which is things that you need to actually train in, and if you don't train in, you have no skill in it. And you've got abilities, which are ones that where you have some natural ability in that you can actually better with training. In this character sheet, this is the 2-page version, which is the big version. The main one is this one, and on the back one is just a way of listing your spells, your offensive weapons, your feats and armor, and anything that your character may be carrying. In this particular version, we've got the characters carrying here. You can have one sheet version that has the feats here instead, and that way you can have all your information on one sheet. Just for information, feats are unique skills and abilities that your character have that are quite specific, like the ability to read, the ability to swim, or the ability to make massive power attacks against opponents.
Awesome. And as this sort of flows into what we were saying before, this can be, what's great is with the double page version, it can be as detailed as you want it to be.
That's correct, yeah.
Or if it was, you know, a smaller game that you were playing, it could be maybe just the first sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or a mixture of the two. I like that it's, you know, it can be as big as the sessions that you want to have.
It's very customizable. It's part of the idea.
So the character sheet is just one small part of the book. Can you tell us more about the book?
Yeah, sure. The book itself, at the moment, in its unedited version, is in its rough version, I should say, is over 160 pages. Expect that with artwork all implanted in there, it'll be over about 200 pages.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the things within the book?
Oh, okay. Well, the book itself tells you a little bit about role-playing, the basics. It tells you how to create a character, how to advance that character throughout the story, all the character skills, their feats. There's 4 chapters on spells for the 4 different kinds of spellcasters you can have. Mm-hmm. There's the game rules, and then there's the advanced rules and optional rules.
So if you were a complete novice, a complete beginner like myself, you could dive in and there'd be like a wealth of knowledge to teach you how to play.
Yeah.
Or if you were more an advanced player, you could skip over those beginning sections and you'd be fine too.
That's correct, yeah.
Fantastic.
Here's a prototype of the second chapter of the book with the art emplaced in it. It is quite rough, but this is an idea, the general idea of what I want it to look like, and the professional editing will make it look much better.
So now you know all about the game. Tell me and tell the other people that are watching about the different pledges if you do help out on Kickstarter.
Oh, right, yeah, well, obviously we appreciate your help. So the lowest pledge that you can do is just $1, and that's a thank you. But if you want to get more into it, you can get credit as a backer, which means you get your name mentioned in the back of the book as a backer. If you put in a little bit more, you can get a PDF version of the book. So it'd be cheaper than the retail version. If you put in a little bit more, you can get the raw, unedited version of the book, and you can get that sooner, so you can get started straight away. And that doesn't include all the juicy pictures and stuff, it's just the raw PDF, which means you can also give me feedback straight away.
Oh, that's cool.
It's exciting.
Yeah, so like part of the team.
Yeah, part of the team, yeah.
Awesome.
I like it.
Yeah.
And the next one up would be to be able to get the hardcover version of the book at cost.
Yep.
So no profit to me, it's just, you just pay for the postage and the printing costs.
Yeah.
And the last one, which I'm most excited about, is the ability to put an illustration of one of your role-playing characters into the game. So you've played it, if you're checking out this site, you've probably played in role-playing games before, you've got your favorite character in mind.
Yeah.
So long as it's fantasy-based character that kind of fits with the genre of the system, you can work with me personally and we can create what your character looks like, and we'll give it to a professional artist, and whatever he puts into it will end up in the book.
That's awesome. So you yourself can be part of the game and be immortalized in there forever.
That's it, yeah.
That's awesome. So what can people do if they want to help?
Well, the link was in the description to the Kickstarter, so you can go there, pledge any amount that you want, and if you want to pledge more afterwards, you can also put in more. Yeah. And the product should be available, if this Kickstarter goes ahead, about June this year.
June, awesome. So the Kickstarter's live at the moment, and in just a few short months, they could be, if they wanted to, be immortalized within the book.
That's it, yeah. It's going to move quickly.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking your time.
Thank you, Pat.
I'm certainly super excited to see it.
Yep.
And let's roll. We're going to show you the Kickstarter video that we made together as well. Thanks so much for watching.
Hi, I'm Chris, author of Ascendant Destiny, a fantasy role-playing system whose main strengths are flexibility that is independent of setting, a balanced core system that scales well, and character progression that is meaningful. Role-playing is interactive storytelling. It's a social activity where 4 to 6 people sit around a table One of you is the storyteller and the others play characters in the story. It's the storyteller's job to guide people, the characters, through the story, through an adventure, and adventures can go for as little or as long as you want. It could be one session or it could be a year's worth of sessions. I originally found that the games I was involved in had systems that were either too specialized to a particular setting or were too unrealistic. I wanted to create a system where progression was more meaningful, where you could become more powerful but slowly over time, with small incremental changes happening to your character. So you didn't have to wait till you're leveled up before getting excited. You're excited about your character's development all the time. So I made a fantasy system that was independent of setting. It's skill-based, not class-based. You can create the character you want and be involved with their every development. It's flexible, there are customizable rules. It's not too simple but not overly complicated, and there are lots of optional rules. It's balanced and realistic, but not too realistic. It scales well and is easy to challenge your players. And there's lots of advancement, from beginning characters all the way up to epic level. We want more art. We want to make it look very pretty. We need to have full color pictures for the chapter titles and for the front cover of the book. We also want to hire a professional ghostwriter who can help with the final edit of the book. And we also want some promotion. The rewards for your pledges include credit as a backer, a PDF version of the book, the raw, unedited version of the book that you can get sooner and that you won't be able to get anywhere else, a hardcover version of the book, and the bit that I'm most excited about, the option to put your role-playing character into the book. This will be a picture, an illustration of your character. You'll get to work with me. We'll put together what your character looks like and we will immortalize them forever in the book. Thanks so much for watching this video. If this Kickstarter goes ahead, the book should be available in June this year. So you can get your character immortalized by that day.